Good morning, everyone. It is part 4. I wrote part 3 on the comments. I'll have to change that. Part 4 of I'm back. And what has happened to get me where I am? I'm going to clean that off. There we go. Now I'm not in a cloud. Hello, everyone. So we've been talking this week. I just wanted to do a series of live videos for about a week and a half where we talk through my journey and how I got from there to here. And so that you are ready to know what is next in the journey of JulieMillerDavis.com, productivity and efficiency expert. So I've told you about kind of how my business took formation and how I started out doing these workshops, and then it morphed, had to morph, or I would have had death by networking. And morphed that into my mastermind program that has now, it's gone from a 1-day workshop to a 6-month mastermind to an 8-month mastermind. And I will talk a little bit more about that transition and why and how that has happened to go from 6 months to 8 months. We already talked about from a workshop to 6 months. But yesterday at the end of my live, I was talking about how I ended up hiring coaches and strategists through this journey of mine, and I wanted to talk today about that because here's where I think that entrepreneurs often make the mistake of thinking, number one, that they can figure it all out, do it on their own. Number two, that they can get what they need for free, and they're not willing to or in that mindset of investing in themselves and in their business. And so or 3, that they can skate by on what they know or without what they really need. And so what I want to talk about is I'm a really good at selling other people's stuff, at selling other people's products, or not even other people's, but selling a product, or selling selling a product, or selling a membership, or things like that are for other people. So what I want to talk about today is investing in your business, because I did from the very beginning. In 2015, when I first was trying to figure this whole thing out, I mentioned a few days ago that I hired a coach right off the bat just to help me know what the heck I was doing, because I really wasn't a businesswoman, and I'd never been a trainer or a speaker or anything like that, and certainly not for money. And so I hired someone who had been on my journey and had some similar experience, but now had a business. And so I found her. We talked a lot before I hired her, and then she helped me formulate what ultimately became my programming and my business. And it was so awesome to be with someone who had similar experiences, and someone who I had to be accountable to and would give me homework. And I had to get it done because I had to get this business going. I needed to make some money. And she made sure that that was going to happen within a few months period. So that's the first thing. Then yesterday I talked about how when I needed to transition from these 1-day workshops into a 6-month program, and I was so nervous about finding those people that would sign up with me for a 6-month commitment and pay the money to do it. And so I hired a strategist at that point, because I don't have that skill or that knowledge base of how to launch a campaign, on how to reach the people, on what to say, on how often to say it, on what modes of communication to use. And so Katie Myers of CR Conversations was my strategist for 3 months. Hello, good morning. For 3 months we worked together, and I paid her to help me do something that she is an expert in. Guys, this is the important part of what I've learned, is you can't do it alone, and you can't do it on the cheap. You've got to be willing to invest. And then the next thing that happened was about, I don't know, maybe a year later or 6 months later, what I knew is I needed a skill set of how to prep people to buy from me as I was speaking, as I was presenting, as I was talking to them, whatever mode I was in, sales mode. I don't really, why do we hate to use that word? I should just own it. We sell stuff. I needed some help. I needed help with language. I needed help with positioning. I needed help with the proposition. I needed help with the ask and being confident in what I was asking them for, and that I was worth it, and that they were going to get what they needed. Good morning. Thank you. So I invested in a sales coach, a Speak to Sell. So she taught me how to position things throughout my talk and conversations so that people are ready. They're ready to purchase. They're ready to go with you wherever you're going if it is what they need and a good fit. So that was the next thing that I did. And then I invested later this past year in a mastermind program that was going to help me build my lane out so that I now have this extension from beginning to end. And so that really is the next lesson that I wanted to talk about today, is that whole thing about investing in yourself. And that's never been anything I'm afraid of, but I see it in a lot of entrepreneurs. And it's a big part of my journey, and why I've been successful is because I have been willing to invest in my business and in myself with coaches, strategists, trainers who have skills that I need. And I could not have done it as well or as brilliantly by myself as I did with them. So it's finding also what your weakness is and what your space of not knowingness is, and hiring someone with that intelligence and with that expertise to guide you and take you along the way, and be willing to invest in that aspect of your business. So I thank you for tuning in. If you tuned in live, and please leave comments and let me know what your thoughts are. And don't forget that I'm going to continue this little chat tomorrow, and that'll be day 5. And then we'll just have a couple more next week. But I appreciate you listening to my journey, because I am back. We're moving forward, and some really exciting things are happening end of 2018, beginning of 2019. And the first thing is that live event, my second live event, part 2, or it's what do they call that? 2.0. And we're going to have that live event coming up in October, and that's what I'm super excited about. And then from that, some other things will be moving forward. So thanks for all the love, everybody, and I will see you tomorrow.